on to the second section of the research section of the portfolio now, and this is the research of hardware, okay? So this is where we look at the various kinds of computer products or things of that nature that you're going to use in your project potentially. Now, this is not the section where cameras and things of that go in. That's in equipment, which we'll talk about in a couple of videos time from now. But basically what you want to do is look at your different options for what you might be using for your project. So however many things that you need to do, use them, but go with 3 would be lovely if you've got 3 things that you can talk about. So here we have the student's personal computer, and then we have the 2 different computers that are available in my multimedia classroom. So we have an older iMac, and we've got an iMac Pro that we just bought. All right. So you go in there, you find a picture of them, you do the pros, so you should really look into the actual hardware features of these. So for example, this has got a 5K display versus whatever's in this MacBook Pro, 8 gigabytes of RAM versus 64 gigabytes of RAM. So obviously this is going to be much faster and able to run more processes. But then the negatives of this one and this one are that it needs to be shared between the 16 multimedia students that were in the class. The negative of this one is it's only got USB-C ports, and in 2019 that was a issue. I guess it still is in 2020. Anyway, I digress. Going over to the other one, we've got the student's MacBook Air versus a MacBook Pro versus a PC that the student might have as well in their house, okay? The positives, the negatives, and a nice description of them. It might also be good to just get a description off the internet where you include sort of the price if it's there, and the actual computer features of it. If you can find that really easily, put it in. I think it's nice. So it's not in this one. Well, it kind of is, but just put in the positives. If we look at this one here, we've got just a more sort of an overall description. And this one's interesting because she's got her benefits as the features that could go in the description. They could be moved around, it doesn't really matter. And she's got a price up here before the pictures here. Looking at the negatives as well, that's also very important to have. And then this student's just gone and done a pretty basic benefits, drawbacks sort of thing. Okay, so what the most important thing that you put in here is you have an evaluation of some sort. So this one here is quite good. It talks about which one's going to be used. The same one here, same idea, although this is a little bit short. And this section has a printer in there. That should really be in equipment. That's okay. Once again, remember, there's differences and you can do things in different ways. The thing about this one that I don't particularly like is they go through everything before having one evaluation section at the end, which is longer, but I feel it kind of loses something. So what I'd like you to do instead is to really do that evaluation throughout. So make sure at the end of every page, just like this one here, you've got a little evaluation on which one of this piece of hardware, which piece of hardware you're going to use and why. So thanks very much for your time.